Okay, so this is the project we're going to be making today. I had made this mini album, last year, and this one I will link to in the description box, but it opens up just like this, and then it has this folio section that pulls out, and then you just keep opening it. There's a pocket here, and then here is a waterfall. So this one I made last year around December, and when I made this one I also made a larger version, but I had not done a tutorial yet, and a lot of you have been asking for the tutorial. So this is the larger version that I just finished up today, and I am hosting a Halloween challenge in my VIP group. If you're not a member of my VIP group, I'd love for you to join. This will be included in the giveaway for the winner of the Halloween challenge in my VIP group. So if you are in my VIP group, can't wait to see your projects, and whoever wins will win this as well as the Gorgeous Girls mini stamps. If you're not in my VIP group and you want to have an opportunity to win this, you can definitely join and upload your Halloween project. So this one is 4.5 by 8. That's the size of it. To close it, I just created this belly band, and it just comes off like this, and so then it just opens the same way. So right here you have your folio as well, but this time I only did 5 spaces for it instead of doing the double, but you can do the double if you want to. And then I also have the waterfall here, and of course you can layer the back with paper if you'd like. I only did 5, but you can go all the way down to the bottom if you'd like. And then I created a pocket right here, and I added some tags. All of these little vintage images, I found these online. They were public domain vintage images, and I actually have these in my VIP group as well. The last time I created a pocket with this flap, but I decided that I would just leave it blank so that there would be lots of room for pictures. You can also add spots for journaling as well. And over here as well, same thing. You could also make a pocket here. The really cool thing about this mini album is you can add pockets or tags or, you know, side pockets or whatever it is that you'd like to have for your specific project needs. You can do what I did over here, which is add the ribbon to have a ribbon closure. This time I decided that I would just do a belly band, and I just created it out of the orange cardstock and then layered it with designer paper. Added this rosette and this little jack-o'-lantern bell and some flowers as well. So that's it. So that's the project we're going to be making. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to make the exact version that I made with this Halloween album without the additional folio or additional waterfall flaps, what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 8 by 12 inches, 1 piece of cardstock that measures 8 by 11 inches, and then you're going to need 5 pieces of cardstock that measure 4.5 by 4.5. 4.5 by 4, and this is going to be for your waterfall. To create the pocket, you will need 1 additional piece that is 4 by 4.5, and I will include all of the dimensions at the very beginning of the video as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the base of our mini album, so this whole back section of the mini album. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your pieces that measure, one that measures 8 by 11 and one that measures 8 by 12. This other 8 by 12 piece is going to be for the inner folio, so we're not going to use that just yet. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to connect these 2 pieces. I'm going to be using score tape. This score tape width is 1/4 inch, so I'm going to be using 2 pieces to make it 1/2 inch. If you have the score tape that measures 1/2 inch, then you're perfectly fine. You just need to use 1. But to connect this, I'm just going to go right down the side. and I'm going to connect this at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make sure to burnish my score tape, and then I'm just going to, oops, did not burnish well enough there. Just going to peel off my backing. And then I'm just going to take these two pieces and connect them. And you connect them however it's easiest for you. I like to have my tape on this side and then add my top layer. Okay, and so my pieces are connected. So now I have this long piece right here. If you are a little crooked at the bottom, you can just cut that little extra piece off. It'll be just fine if you do that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to score this base piece for our the outside of our folio. So you're going to take your scoreboard and you're going to line up your paper at the end, and you're going to start off by scoring at 4.5. Then you're going to score at 5, and then you're going to score at 9.5 and 10. So what I did was I scored at 4.5, 5, 9.5, and 10. Now I'm not going to fold any of these first 3 score marks yet. The only one I'm going to fold is at the 10 mark. So I'm going to fold right there, and then I'm going to line up that mark all the way to the end. And now I'm going to score at 4.25, 4.5, and 8.5. Okay, so to recap, I started by lining up my end at the edge. I scored at 4.5, 5, 9.5, and 10. Then I folded on the 10-inch score line only, and then I lined that up to the very end, and then I scored at 4.25, 4.5, and 8.5. Okay, so this is going to be your base. So now we can go ahead and fold on our score lines. And you're going to want to make sure that you burnish all of your score lines well, so that way you have a really nice crease. So now you have your book. Your outside of your mini album is already ready. So the way this mini album folds up is this one folds in, this piece folds in, and then you have a tiny gusset right there, and that folds in, and then this piece folds in, and then there's your closure. So if you want to add a ribbon closure, you definitely could. If you wanted to add a magnetic closure, you can add a magnetic closure as well, or a velcro closure, whatever it is that you wanted to do. But your right side is what folds in to the left on this side. Okay, so your outside of your folio is already complete. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the inner folio section right here, which is this section right here. And I only added one 8x12 sheet. If you wanted to double the length of this, like we did in the tiny Christmas mini album, you could cut 2 8x12s and then attach them together and create a longer version as well. But I'm only going to do a shortened version right now. So I'm going to take my second piece of 8x12. I'm going to get my scoreboard again. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at 4.25, and then I'm going to fold that, and then I'm going to score again at 4.25, and I'm going to fold this piece back. So there's your inner folio. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have these two sides. So what you could do is you could add score tape all on the back of here, and then you would just center it and stick it in here. What I did was I cut this extra piece down to 1/2 inch, where this was only 1/2 inch, and then I just attached it right here in the center. If you were creating if you were gonna do 2 of the 8x12s to create the longer folio, like in the Christmas mini album, then you would connect those 2 pieces so that you would make 1 piece, and then it would fit perfectly on the inside. Okay, so if you're just going to do the half a folio like I did, or the shortened folio, then all you have to do is put score tape on the back of here, and then you would attach it right in there, and then it would open up just like that. Okay, so then for your waterfall, you would take your 5 pieces of 4.5 by 4.5. I'm sorry, 4.5 by 4, and you're just going to score on the 4.5 inch side at 4. And you're going to do that for all 5 of your pieces. And this, the way I'm doing this is extremely similar to the smaller mini, except the size is larger. So you can always follow that mini album tutorial as well, if for some reason you miss a step or something doesn't make sense. So all you're going to do is bend on that score line for all of those waterfall pieces. And then you're going to add score tape to the back of these. And then make sure after you add your score tape that you burnish on your score tape, so your tape sticks really well to your cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and stick in the inner folio as well, so that you'll see what that looks like too. Except I'm going to get my paper cutter, my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut down this piece, and I just want it to be 1/2 inch from this score line right here. So I'm just going to line up the score line at the 1/2 inch mark. Oops. And I'm just going to trim this down. Now this piece right here, you could use it to create a pocket, so make sure that you save your scraps, because you could definitely use it to make a pocket for one of the other sides of the folio, the mini album folio. You don't have to throw that away. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is add score tape right here. This is how I have mine opening. If you want to open it this way, you can open it this way also. But I'm just going to add score tape right here, so that way I can go ahead and add it to my mini album. And if you wanted to keep that whole piece of cardstock and not cut it down, of course you can do that also. Do whatever is easiest for you. And change it up. If you want to do something differently, you totally can. So this is going to go right here in the center. So I'm just going to take off my score tape. Oh, I have it opening this way actually. So I'm going to do it like this. And I'm just going to center it in between my score lines. And that's it. Then it opens like that. And you'll be able to cover this piece with your designer cardstock, and then you'll be able to add another picture, another journaling spot. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, if you want to double that, just cut 2 pieces that are 8 by 12, score them both at 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and then adhere them together, and you'll be able to create that longer version like in the Christmas mini album. Okay, so your inner folio is there, and you're going to want to make sure that you burnish really well so it stays down. If you want to add magnets so that it stays closed, you can always add magnets, completely up to you. And now you would just add your waterfall pieces. And I can't really see, so I'm gonna have to move it down just so that I can see. But you'll just do the same thing with this one, is line it up in the center of those 2 score lines and then burnish it. And then every other piece will just line right up underneath those pieces. And if you wanted to add waterfalls all the way down to the bottom of this section, you definitely can. It would take, I want to say it's 8 of these 4.5 by 4 pieces, but I did include the dimensions in the first 2 slides of the video of how many you would need. And you can make as many of these little waterfall sections as you want. If you only wanted to do 3 right there and then maybe do a pocket on the bottom, you can definitely do that too. Again, one of the great things about this mini album is you can really customize it for whoever you're giving it to. It's kind of hard to see right here, so if I'm a little crooked, which I might be, which is okay. I think that if I give somebody this, oh no, it looks pretty good. If I gave it to somebody and it was a little crooked, that they'd be okay with it because they knew I made it. And I'd probably be able to hide the crookedness also. And if not, that's okay. Okay, so that's it. That's exactly how I created mine. The only additional thing I did was add the pocket right here on the side, and I know you guys know how I add pockets already. If for some reason you don't know, all I would do is I would measure my width right here, which is 4, and so I like to do 1/2 inch on each side. So I would cut a piece that's 5 inches by 3.5 inches, and then I would score it on 1/2 inch all around so that I'd be able to create that pocket. So you can create a pocket here, you can create a large pocket here, it's completely up to you. But that's it. That's basically the basis of your larger folio mini album. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I love to read your comments, so please feel free to leave comments as well. I look forward to seeing all the wonderful minis that you create. Until next time, bye.